In this second example, we're going to complete the square, but we have a little problem. We have a coefficient of -2, and what I really want is a coefficient of 1 there. So what I'm going to have to do is, remember, I'm going to complete the square on these two terms. I'm going to have to factor this -2 out of this binomial here. So I'm going to write this as y equals -2. And when I factor -2, I divide each term by -2. So if I divide -2 into this one, I'll just get 1x squared, which is what I want, a 1x squared. But I get over here a -5 halves x. Okay. Now I have to add my number to make this a perfect square. I've got 1 here, and then I have to subtract the number over there that I add. Now notice this, if I remultiply, I'll get -2x squared, and I'll get positive 5x. So I have factored it out successfully, even though this is not a greatest common factor. Now, of course, I have to take 1/2 of that and square it, right? So I take 1/2 times let me do it this way. 1/2 times -5 halves. Okay, and I take that quantity and I square it. I really don't have to worry about the negative because I'm going to end up squaring it anyway. And notice this, I get -5/4, and I have to square that. And when you square that, you get a positive number, 25/16. So I have to add 25/16 right here. Now I'm going to erase that because I don't need that anymore. This equals 25/16. Just to remind you, if we square this, square the top, square the bottom, right? So let's get rid of this. I've already got it there. Now I still haven't added the number. And it's very tempting to just go ahead and subtract 25/16, except when you realize that I didn't really add 25/16, I had -2 times 25/16, because when you multiply through, you'll end up multiplying this by -2. And of course, if you multiply this by 2, they'll cancel. It'll go down to 8 here, and it'll be negative. So it'll be 25, can you read that okay, over 8. That's what that is. That's 25 over 8, that's 1, okay? All right, now this is a perfect square trinomial. I go y equals -2. Let's get that negative to come out. Okay, -2 times, and you take the square root of x, and you take the square root of that, you get how much? 5/4. The sign you use right here, and that's negative, and that's squared. Now, of course, this is going to be 8/8, isn't it? 8/8 minus 25/8 is -17/8. 8 right there. Actually, I made a mistake, didn't I? -2. I want to subtract a -25/8. Let's go over with that mistake. That's a good student mistake to make. I'm going to subtract a number. So the number I'm really going to subtract is -2 times 25/16. That's really -25/8. So I'm subtracting a -25/8. In fact, I'm kind of glad I made that mistake, because that's a typical mistake that students make. And of course, a negative is a positive. So I've got positive 25/8, and this is 8/8, and that's 33/8, isn't it? It's going to be positive 33 over 8. And there it is. Of course, my vertex on this particular one is going to be the opposite direction of the sign, 5/4, and then 33/8. That's the vertex.